Lieutenant Sophia Rivera stood before her superior officers, her hands trembling as she held her weapon, while they said, "This woman can't survive on the battlefield." But what they didn't know was that Sophia had neutralized 47 enemy agents in the past 2 years. And now she had discovered that one of these superior officers was a double agent. At the Fort Bragg intelligence headquarters, Lieutenant Sophia Rivera sat at her desk, unable to write reports due to the slight tremor in her hands, the way she held her pen as if it might break. The files she frequently dropped and her constant apologizing had made her the most incompetent officer in the headquarters. "Rivera, rewrite this report," Colonel Richards grumbled, throwing the papers on her desk. "The writing is sloppy, the numbers are wrong, the conclusions are unclear. Did you really graduate from West Point?" Sophia bowed her head and said in a trembling voice, "I apologize, sir. I'll fix it right away." The male officers around her smirked. "Maybe we should transfer Rivera to the file archive," suggested Major Thompson. "At least there she can't harm anyone." But Sophia had a secret no one could see. Every night, after everyone went home, she would lock herself in a small room and do her real work, decoding encrypted messages, tracking enemy agent movements, and most importantly, identifying double agents within her own headquarters. In the past 2 years, 47 enemy agents had been captured thanks to Sophia's espionage. No one knew this was the work of that scared, incompetent lieutenant. Even the CIA didn't know her real identity. Sophia's days always followed the same routine. She would arrive at headquarters at 0600, make stupid mistakes all day, and be the last to leave at 1800. But tonight was different. There was an encrypted message on her computer. "Fox is in the nest. Tomorrow night, going on final hunt." Sophia's heart raced. The double agent she had been tracking for 2 years was finally making a move. And the most frightening part was that this agent was someone from her own headquarters. The next morning, Sophia was acting more nervous than usual. She dropped her coffee cup, mixed up files, and even answered the wrong questions in briefings. "Rivera, you've completely lost it," chuckled Captain Williams. "Maybe we should send you to a psychologist." Sophia thought to herself, if only they knew. But out loud, she only apologized. At 2300 hours, Sophia was alone at headquarters. At least she thought she was. While tracking encrypted messages in her secret room, she heard footsteps in the corridor. She quickly turned off the lights and hid in the shadows. Colonel Richards was entering the headquarters, but why was he here at this hour? Sophia quietly followed him. Richards went straight to the secure file room and entered using a special code. Sophia held her breath. This was it, the double agent she had been searching for 2 years. But then something terrible happened. When Richards came out, he walked directly toward where Sophia was hiding. "I can see you, Rivera," he said calmly. "Stop hiding." Sophia's world collapsed. She was trapped. "I've been watching you for 2 years, Richards said with a cold smile. "Your stupid, scared lieutenant act is really good, but I know who you really are." Sophia's trembling stopped. She straightened her back, and the fear disappeared from her voice. "Then you know tonight is your last night," Sophia said without any tremor in her voice. Richards was surprised. The woman in front of him seemed to have transformed into someone else. Richards drew his weapon and pointed it at Sophia. "Whoever you are, you won't leave here alive." "You shouldn't do that, Richards," Sophia said, staying calm. "Because I know you're not alone. Your team is waiting outside, isn't it?" Richards' eyes flickered. Sophia was right. "And they know I'm here too. If you kill me, none of you will get out of here. You're bluffing." Sophia smiled and moved her finger. "Try it and see." As Richards prepared to pull the trigger, Sophia suddenly rolled to the floor. At the same moment, the building's electricity went out. In the darkness, Richards fired, but Sophia was no longer there. "Where are you?" Richards shouted in panic. Sophia's voice came from the darkness. "For 2 years, I've studied this building, Richards. I know every corner, every secret passage. You're just a traitor who sits at a desk stealing files." Footsteps came from the corridor door. Richards' team was running inside. "Colonel, what's happening?" they shouted. "Find that damn woman," Richards ordered. But just then, the building's alarm system began blaring. Emergency lights were flashing on and off. Sophia's voice echoed through the speakers. "Dear soldiers, Colonel Richards has been selling military secrets to enemies for the past 2 years. I am CIA Special Operations Agent Sophia Rivera, and I have surrounded this building." Richards and his men looked at each other in shock. "Evidence of this conversation will reach federal agents in 30 seconds. This is your last chance to surrender." Richards was furious. "Find her and kill her." His team began searching the building for Sophia, but Sophia was moving through the shadows, neutralizing them one by one. The first man disappeared, then the second. Richards' voice cracked. "What's happening? Where are my men?" Sophia spoke through the speakers again. "Richards, only you're left from your team. Last chance. Surrender." Richards gritted his teeth and ran toward the exit, but Sophia was waiting for him at the door. "Thank you for underestimating me for 2 years," Sophia said. "It made catching you very easy." Richards tried to fire one last time, but Sophia was too fast. With one move, she took the weapon from his hand and knocked him to the ground. Just then, federal agents surrounded the building. The real team had arrived. This is impossible." Richards groaned as he lay on the ground. "No, Richards," Sophia said, breathing heavily. "This was the result of 2 years of preparation, and you were the perfect prey." The next morning, headquarters was in chaos. Colonel Richards had been taken by the FBI, and it had become big news in the media. Sophia sat at her desk working with a confidence unlike anything before. Her hands were no longer trembling. "Rivera!" Major Thompson shouted, running over. Are you really a CIA agent?" Sophia stood up and pulled out a different ID card. CIA, Special Operations Unit. "I've captured 48 double agents in the past 2 years, she said calmly. Richards was the last one. Everyone in the headquarters was frozen. That constantly apologizing, scared woman was actually their most successful agent. But you always made stupid mistakes." Williams stammered. Sophia smiled. "Because the real enemies needed not to see me as a threat. And it worked perfectly." "So you fooled us for 2 years," Thompson said in amazement. "No, Major, I protected my country for 2 years, and thanks to your behavior, no one suspected my real identity." Sophia packed her bag. "My mission here is finished now. A new operation awaits." As she walked toward the door, she turned around one last time. "By the way, dropping the coffee cup, that was also part of the plan." And thus Sophia Rivera made history as the person no one expected. Because sometimes the greatest power is when no one sees power in you. In this story, real power is not physical superiority, but intelligence and strategy. Sophia Rivera turned social prejudices to her advantage and proved that her greatest weakness was actually her greatest strength.